cruising around in that cart, and as you're adding things into the cart, and you're trying to buy what's on sale, and there's this over here and this over there. You need that, and pretty soon you're looking at the cart going, well, my weekly paycheck is gone. So, and that's really about what it was once you got through the cash register, checkout point as well. And so now we have so many more organic farmers and growers and suppliers that the prices really are very, very affordable. And even Whole Foods, Whole Foods was one of those places that's like, wow, they're so expensive. But, they've got a weekly circular just like all the other grocery stores. And if you'll buy according to those circulars, you will make it through the checkout stand and get that stuff into your car and go, well, hey,
maybe I didn't do too bad.
I didn't do too bad.
Right.
Because it is true. You're going to pay for it one way or the other. If you're eating a lot of foods that keep your body in an acid condition, then this winter season, you are going to catch everybody's cold from them sneezing and wiping their face and touching door handles, sneezing in public places, flus. You need to remember that if your body's terrain is in an acid environment 6.0 and below, your body is struggling, and your cells are not that healthy.
And
you are not going to be able to ward off, from an immune system standpoint, things you are being exposed to.
And that's 6.0 and below?
At 6.0 and below.
Okay.
And the easiest way to check that pH is the first morning urine, and you can pick up pH strips at the local drugstore and pass that through the morning urine. If you go to kingdomofhealing.com, under, if you just kind of search it on the site there, pH strips, you can buy pH strips there as well. And it gives you the little chart, shows you what color everything needs to be. You want your pH coming in at 7.5. 7.5 gives you the fighting chance that whatever you're exposed to, your cells are going to be able to fight that off. Okay, so back to some of these things with the coconut oil. I talked a little bit about coconut oil with melaleuca, and you can add like oregano oil into that and some clove. And, you can take that on a teaspoon if you're dealing with candida, yeast infections, fungus infections. And when you go back to these, if you go back to the medium chain fatty acids, and you go back to that capric acid and the caprylic acid. Caprylic acid alone keeps Candida albicans in check in the digestive tract. And so if you're dealing with a problem with excessive fungus, as well as, say, athlete's feet. Athlete's feet it's fungus. Instead of spraying all these chemicals and stuff all over it, you can take coconut oil, add a couple drops of tea tree oil to it, a couple drops of oregano, a drop or two of cloves. Rub that on your feet. That kills the athlete's feet, which is fungus. But you've got to do something internally, because it starts internally. The skin is when the body is trying to push that out of the body. And so you get it on the skin. You get skin irritations. You get rashes on the body. You get candida, fungus, athlete's feet. You got cradle cap on a baby. That's fungus. Put a little coconut oil. Rub a little coconut oil on the scalp of the baby.
It's good for transdermal then, or subdermal.
Transdermal, yes,
okay.
It will be absorbed. Yes, you put it on the skin, it will be absorbed. And again, it's that caprylic acid that occurs naturally in it that will kill the fungus. So
very interesting.
Forget the baby oil. Don't be putting coal tar petroleum products on your baby's skin.
Right.
And don't put coal tar petroleum products, baby oil, and Vaseline on your skin either. So the hormone balancer, talked about that on the herbalmedicinedr.com, where the majority of the essential oils are at. Coconut oil is an all-around hormone balancer with estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, and it also helps with thyroxine. So it helps feed and normalize the thyroid, whether you're dealing with a hypo, an underactive condition with the thyroid, or if you're trying to bring balance to an overactive thyroid, okay, where you're hyper.
Okay, I was going to say that
overactive hyperthyroidism is an overactive thyroid, and people tend to be really thin. They can have kind of the look of the eyes bulge a little bit. That's an overactive thyroid. Underactive thyroid is a problem with weight, sluggishness, don't really want to, they're tired.
So a guy, like my dad got a thyroid problem. Now, he was skinny like me, but because of his thyroid problem, boy,
he gained a lot of weight.
Huge. Oh, yeah, he's huge now.
Okay.
So.
Coconut oil. Coconut oil is something that would be, really, really good. You can add to that coconut oil, you can add a little lemongrass to that, and that helps to bring balance to the thyroid. The other thing is, when the thyroid has been out of balance for so long, the adrenals kick in. And you can have either, if the thyroid is overactive, the adrenals usually become exhausted and then they're underactive. Or if the thyroid is underactive and you need to keep putting one foot in front of the other, no matter how tired you are, you have to drag yourself to get something done. That's the adrenal glands that kick in and give your body that energy. It's just kind of like, you hear about all these amazing things that people do in a situation of a catastrophe, like moving a car off of somebody. That's your adrenal glands. That's the adrenaline that's pumping through you that gives you this incredible Hulk strength for that moment.
Right.
For that moment. You have it for that moment that makes the difference of life and death, and then it's
you've heard plenty of parents where they've lifted up a vehicle off of their child.
That's right. That's right.
And,
that's true.
That's how Lou Ferrigno wasn't the Incredible Hulk no more, because he ended up saving his daughter that was almost getting run over by a car, and he ran out, and he basically scooped that car up as it was driving and stopped it dead in his tracks.
Exactly. And so I had when I was a kid, one of my cousins, it was like a second cousin. He was the hostess driver. He delivered the Hostess Twinkies and all of that to the grocery store. And back in the day when nobody knew any better, but food was a lot. But I don't know if Twinkies were any better then. But the thing is that he had an incident where he in his bread truck, where he was backing out of a space at a grocery store, and he hit someone. And it was a lady that he hit, and she had her leg was under the tire, and he didn't want to get back in the car, into the truck, and move it. He literally lifted that truck up on his own to get her freed up. Other people were there helping to get her out from underneath the truck.
Wow.
And I remember, the family was just so amazing. That was something that was talked about, for years, what Tony did. And, and so that's adrenaline. That's where that strength, that immediate energy and strength comes from. So, when we live in these fast-paced lives and we have all of this stress and, it's the adrenal glands that get burnt out. So one of the things that coconut oil helps with as well is it helps to restore the adrenal glands. And if you're under a lot of stress, it helps to lower the cortisol hormone that is produced by the adrenal glands when you're under stress. So you've got people who, under stress, they lose a lot of weight. Their adrenal glands are not producing all of that cortisol. People who go through a lot of stress, but even though they're not eating and they gain weight, that's cortisol. That's a hormone. And it's released by the adrenal gland. So in order to bring that cortisol level back into balance, along with balancing the thyroid, because, the thyroid and the adrenal gland work together. And so in order to bring balance to the thyroid and to the adrenal glands, you'd want to use the coconut oil with that. Now, here's another one, back to those PMSing teenagers and the menopausal women. On the herbalmedicinedr.com site, there's a blend called Women's Monthly. And that is an essential oil blend that is used for helping with bringing female hormones into balance. So one thing you can do is you can take a couple ounces of the coconut oil and put 6 drops of the woman's blend, the woman's monthly blend, into that. Mix that up real good. Rub it on the abdominal area. Rub it on the lower abdominal area over where, the uterus is below. Rub it where the ovaries are at. Just shortly, just up above the pubic bone.
Uh-huh.
And slightly off to the left and the right. They're kind of actually a little more center than they are, way to the left or way to the right. So you're going to rub that abdominal area with the coconut oil with the women's monthly blend. And it's transdermal. Okay. It's absorbed. It's absorbed into the skin, and it's picked up and it's delivered directly into the ovaries and helps with creating a balance there. So, but we need to remember is that we also want to take things internally. So the woman's monthly blend is not something that's a combination that you can take internally. It's to use topically, but you can use the just straight coconut oil and take a teaspoon of that twice a day for a teenager. And so 3 teaspoons is a tablespoon. So a tablespoon is what an adult woman would use. Coconut oil is also used with the digestive tract. It contains compounds that destroy the bad bacteria. That goes back to that caprylic acid that occurs naturally in the coconut oil. But it also helps to promote good probiotics in the digestive tract. So if you're on a probiotic or a prebiotic combination, you can take that with some coconut oil as well, and